Well, good morning, everybody. Hey there, it is Melanie Mitro, and we are live with Business Tip Tuesday. I am so excited to be live on this call with you guys this morning. The amount of feedback that you guys gave me on this topic was incredible. And so it makes me even more excited to share this with you. And I'm actually pulling up my Facebook like page right now so that I can see all of your questions, because I can't believe how many of you commented below on the fact that you are feeling like your warm market is running low. So today's talk is going to be a little bit of real talk, a little bit maybe a kick in the pants for some of you, maybe a mindset shift, and it's also going to be coupled with some actual practical tools and tips that you can use to help you grow your network and sort of chuck that to the side and sort of just say, okay, I got this, I can handle this. So I hope you're ready for it, right? And if you have any questions along the way, don't hesitate to comment below or ask questions, because you know that I'll answer them at some point, if not now, at the end for sure. All right, so the first thing, when I came up with this topic, the reason why I chose to do my warm market has run low is because of this. I can't tell you how many people come into my organization and they hit the ground running and they have great success, right? And they have this warm market and they're willing to put themselves out there and they're sharing with their family and they're sharing with their friends and they're inviting the people closest to them. Or, is this you? Like, you came in and all you did was share on social media that you had launched your business, and then you put out a public invite to join, and people actually commented and said they were in and they were inspired or motivated by your results and were willing to join you. And so what happened is you were so excited and you had a lot of work to do, and so you sort of put on the back burner the essentials that people teach you when you're growing a business, right? The importance of adding to your contact list and making your profile public and searching your hashtags and growing your following. But you were so excited by this influx of people that were interested, you almost said to yourself, that stuff isn't for me. I don't really need that. I'm not going to focus on adding new people, because it kind of makes me a little bit nervous to invite people I don't know, or I don't really want to make my profile public because then everybody can see my stuff. And what if somebody, I don't know, that I don't want to see my stuff sees my stuff, right? And so we begin to build these excuses in our mind of why we don't need to be doing those vital behaviors that are important to growing a business. And so we work off of this warm market for 1, 2, 3 months. And sometimes it's only 1 month. And I see this happening with people in my organization is they come in hot right out of the gate. They become a coach with me on my team, and they hit the goals the first month and they like 10x those goals. Like, they're crushing it. They're like doubling and tripling their goals. But then in month 2, when they're back at 0 again and they have to start all over, it's now a little bit harder. And they weren't, for that first 30 days, they weren't adding new friends. They weren't searching hashtags. They weren't actually doing physical invites. Their profile's still private. They're not posting on social media consistently every single day. And all of a sudden, they hit this slump. And then all the negativity starts to creep in. Is this any of you, right? The negativity starts to creep in. I don't know if this is for me. Maybe that was my only run. Maybe I've dried up my warm market. Nobody wants to join me. And so then you start letting that negative self-talk get into your head and you start beating yourself down and telling yourself, okay, I'm not meant for this. Success is only for the pretty, the blonde, the skinny, the ones that have transformations, or the ones that are willing to put themselves out there. And that guys, I'm going to call you on your BS. I'm going to call it. I'm going to call you on your BS. And even if you've done this for 3 months now and you have been rocking your warm market, all of a sudden it runs out. And then I say to you, have you been adding people? And you say, well, no. And then I say to you, you have missed 60, 90, 120 days of consistently adding 2 to 3 people every single day. How many people is that? I don't do math. I won't embarrass myself, but that's a lot of people that you would have been adding if on day 1 you became, a coach or a distributor or whatever business that you work with. If on day 1 you would have started with that mindset, even though you had a warm market, your funnel would be full. you would have something to work off of. So now it doesn't mean that at this point that you're behind the 8 ball. It just means that you have to understand that from today, from this point forward, there has to be a shift in your mindset. There has to be a shift that I will never stop stoking the fire, no matter how many irons that I have in the fire and how many people say they're going to purchase a challenge pack or how many people say they're going to sign up to join my team, that you won't stop, because there's no actual physical results until that order shows up in your back office or that coach signs up and they decide to work the business. In your mind, you have to continually keep more irons in the fire. You can't count on anybody. You have to control the controllable. So with that being said, first thing that you need to do when you're listening to this video right now, this live broadcast, is to say to yourself, excuses out the door. They don't have a place. If you've run out of your warm market, do you know whose fault that is? Yours. It's your fault. It is because you are not doing everything you can to expand that market. And that's an honest, bold statement, but I truly believe in that. So if you can't find people, you're not looking hard enough. All right? Number 2, if you say I've tried it all, I want you to list all of the things that you have tried in order to expand your warm market. All right? If they didn't work, how did you change it and tweak it? Or did you completely plot twist and chuck it to the wind and never go back again? Or did you say, maybe I'll shift my wording, or maybe I'll shift the way I invite people, or I'll shift when I invite people, or who or how, until you found what works? Look, you will fail more times than you can count, but that is a sign that is important, because that means you found all of these ways that didn't work. So right now, number 1, excuses to the side. If you run out of your warm market, it is because of your action. It has not been enough in order to produce results. We talked about average versus extraordinary a few weeks ago, and we just can't be doing the minimum. We just can't be doing the minimum in order to achieve the success that we want to achieve. And I can see that my comments aren't showing up, so let me just refresh over here so that I can see what you guys are saying. All right. Okay, so number 2, let's talk about getting that warm market up and rolling. Now, what we need to do, number 1, you need to have a public profile. If you are using Facebook to build your business, public. You need people to be able to find you. And I tell my team this all the time. If Sally down the street follows you on social media or joins your challenge group or becomes a part of your team, and then she tells Lindsay in the neighborhood over, you should really go follow Melanie because she posts all these great recipes and daily motivation. And so Lindsay down the street goes to Facebook, she types in your name and you don't pop up. She can't find you. She goes to Sally. Sally, I can't find her. Where's she at? She says, here's her link. And she's like, oh, she's private. I can't find her. You've lost a customer. You've lost a prospect. You've lost a friend request. So your profile needs to be public. You can't worry about public and private. You go public. You have to be public. That's number 1. You have to do that not just on Facebook, but you have to do it on Instagram too. Your profile needs to be public. If you want to have an Instagram that is just family photos and family pictures, then make an Instagram that's just your family. But if you're running a business, you need to have a public profile. And then also on Instagram, make your Instagram account a business account. That is, it's literally in your settings. It's a click to make it a business. It allows you to have insights. You want that to be an option for you, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, and this is all related to growing your market, you need to have a great profile picture and you need to have a description of who you are. All right. Profile picture needs to be a selfie of you. It should not be 5 of your best friends together. It could be your family or you and your husband, but I should be able to click on your profile, Lori, and I should know that you are Lori. I shouldn't have to scroll through your Facebook to try to figure out what does Lori actually look like. I should be able to tell. I should also, by looking at your profile, be able to tell that you are into fitness, you are into nutrition. It doesn't necessarily need to say Beachbody or independent Beachbody coach, but it needs to be like your tags about you. All right. It needs to be like lover, paleo lifestyle or Whole30 junkie or cardio junkie or whatever it is, CrossFit trainer, group fitness, teacher of fitness and teacher of second grade, boy mom, right? It needs to be you. If you have a website, if you have a blog, or if you have a like page, there should be links. When I go to your profile, I should be able to find out more about you right then and there. Your timeline banner should be not just a beach body stock photo, but it should be you. Who are you? What's your brand? Do you love cooking? Should be you in the kitchen. Do you love your dogs? You and your dogs. Do you love working out? Maybe it is your transformation. It should be an accurate reflection of you. Why is this important to expanding your brand? Because when people search for you, they're going to make a decision in less than 5 seconds of whether or not they want to be friends with you. Do they feel like you are genuine and honest and somebody that they can relate to? Somebody that doesn't like sparkles and doesn't like just the, I don't know, I like to shop, I love fitness, and I love my boys, and if you go to my page and that's not your jam, you might not accept my friend request, and that's okay. But if I friended you and I had a fairy or a unicorn as my profile photo, and my banner across the top was a picture of Italy, and it was just the scenery, and then my profile was public, was private, and you couldn't find anything out about me, would you accept my friend request? I know I wouldn't accept yours. I would think you were spam. But when it's public, then I can see what you've posted. I can make a decision before I accept your friend request as to whether or not I want to be your friend. So that's what I want you guys to think about as we're sitting here today and thinking about these things, okay? All right, so the next thing that we need to think about is when I started Beachbody, I had less than 100 friends on Facebook. I had no Instagram account. I had no blog. I had none of that. I had to start fresh. So what are the things that I did to get that ball rolling? Every stinking day I sent friend requests. So I went to my Facebook, and I went to where it says friends, and then from there, so I went to my personal, then I went to friends, clicked on it. From there, where it says, I'm looking at my Facebook right now, it says find friends, right there, find friends. I can click on find friends, and now what shows up is on the right hand side, it says search for friends. Now I can look for people in my hometown where I grew up, Irwin, Pennsylvania. People in Irwin, Pennsylvania. There's an entire list of people that pop up. I go down through and I look at all of these people's profiles, and I look at their pictures, and I'm like, oh, I know Leah. Leah and I went to high school together. I remember her. I'm going to send her a friend request. All right. We went to school, and I see that she's a group fitness instructor, which is awesome. She would probably get along really well. She is a little girl. I think that would be a good person, right? Then I move on and I go to somebody else, and I keep going down through, and I'm like, oh, I remember Erin. Erin and I, we were in the same math class. I'm going to send Erin a friend request. All right. So you can go down through, and you could do at least 4 or 5 of these a day. It's people that I physically knew. Another thing that I did was I would do like current city, Mars, Pennsylvania. That's where I currently live right now. Now I'm going down through and I'm looking for people that either my kids go to school with, or they play on the same sports team, or we live in the same neighborhood, or, so now I'm going through and now every day I do this. Then once I'm kind of run out of those, and what I do is I kind of watch. And so I watch to see every single day who actually accepts my friend request. I don't say anything when they accept my friend request. I just don't. But what I do is I watch, because every week, and I just make it a habit, on Sundays I go in and I look at my friend request that I sent. And if it's been an entire week and I have sent friend requests, and you go to, let's see here, you go to manage, or you go to your friend request there, friend requests, view sent requests, and then the people that did not accept my friend request, if they haven't accepted it within a week, I go through and you just hover over friend request sent and you do cancel request. And I literally just go down through and I cancel that friend request. So that way I don't have too many that are pending out there for too long. Make sense? All right, so every single day you can do that. That's your Facebook. So think about all the places that you have not tapped into yet. Church, youth group, neighborhood. When we moved into our new neighborhood, we had a Facebook group for our new neighborhood. I went down through and I friend requested everybody that was in there. Heck, I'm gonna need recommendations for yard work, or I'm gonna need recommendations for a plumber or a roofer at some point, or somebody to clean windows. Like there's always gonna be something that I need. And so if I'm friend requesting those people, now I'm connected to them. Now I can introduce myself. Like when they accept my friend request, I can go and say, hey, Erin, thanks for accepting my friend request. We just moved, down the street from you. I just wanted to say hi. And, I have 2 boys. I see you have some kids too. Hopefully we'll run into each other on a walk. Right? Done. So if it's somebody that if it's in your neighborhood, introduce yourself. Also, your PTA or PTO. How many of you have a Facebook group for your PTO or PTA? Go there. Look through the number of people that like your school district's PTO group and find other moms that you can friend request. That's another thing that I do. Another way to expand your market is I go to my husband's Facebook. My husband is from this area. He has a lot of friends from high school. He has a lot of friends, even just people I actually didn't even think about that we both mutually know that I haven't connected with. So I literally just started going down through, and every day I was like 5 to 10 new people every day. I didn't say something to everyone, but every day I would go in and I would look to see who had accepted my friend request and what did they say. All right, so that's number 1. Now, the next thing that you can do is you can now go over to your Instagram. Now, I had no Instagram account, so I had to create an Instagram account. And I thought to myself, all right, I don't know a whole lot about Instagram, but what I'm going to do is every single day, I am going to learn something about Instagram. Every single day, I'm going to post 3 posts on Instagram, and I'm going to share those same posts. I'm not going to share them. I'm going to copy and paste, and they'll be my Facebook post, especially if you're just getting started and you're just trying to understand it. The more that you can put yourself out there, you are trying to increase awareness on every platform. I have friends that are only on Instagram. I have friends that are only on Facebook, and I don't want to miss people. So I do what I consider double posting a lot of times, especially at the beginning, because I'm trying to drum up my base and my foundation and trust and credibility with people. When you first create an Instagram account, same thing. Profile needs to be public. You need to have a good picture, right? You need to have a good description of who you are. Do not put Beachbody Coach in there. Do not put Beachbody Coach in there, all right? Then the next thing that you want to do is there's a little button on your Facebook that allows you to invite all of your friends or follow all of your friends that are on Facebook on Instagram. Bam, instant following, all right? Then I look at all their Instagram accounts. I make sure that I'm liking their pictures and making a comment and interacting with people. And so then my Instagram following is starting to grow. Look, don't get overwhelmed and say, oh, I'm doing this on Facebook, so I'm just not going to do Instagram. It takes you 5 minutes to do both. You need to, if you're trying to have massive success, massive action in your business, you want to grow your following, you want to grow your area of influence, you want to open the doors for future opportunities, you have to exhaust every single possible contact and person, and you weed it out as you go. If you find that somebody you followed is not in your niche and you wouldn't want them to join your challenge group, and you certainly wouldn't want them on your team because maybe they're nothing like you and you don't relate to them and you find them irritating, unfollow them. It's no harm, no shame in the game. But if you don't try, you will never find out. All right? So that's another thing. And then the last thing, especially with Instagram, that I do is searching hashtags. I allot myself 10 minutes a day. I set the timer. I go through my Instagram and I search hashtags. I look for things like boy mom and mom of boys and Mars, Pennsylvania, and anything that I can think of that I like, brands I like, fashion I like, fitness I like, books I like to read, authors. I'll just search random hashtags and look for people that I would want to connect with. I like their last 3 photos, I make a comment, and I try to engage in that interaction. I try to get people to follow me back. So I don't do this once in a while. I don't do this when I'm desperate and I don't have new customers this month and I need somebody right now. I do this every single day because you know what it means? I'm constantly priming people. I'm constantly have new people at different stages, from just meeting me to the very first interaction on social media, to the 6 month, to the 1 year, to the point where they finally make the commitment. But it is about generating traction every single day and never ever stopping. It has to be a part of what you do. And you can't be afraid to send the friend request. You can't be afraid of what people are going to think. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, because if you don't, nobody is going to find you. Do not think because you post 3 to 5 times a day on Facebook or Instagram that this business is going to work for you. You have to go out there and take matters into your own hands and ask for a decision and interact with people and send those invites once you start getting people that are commenting and liking and interacting with you too. All right? So you've got to have that element of being a little bit bold. That is the only way that you will in fact get results. So expanding your market is not something you do when you run out of people. It's something you do every single day. I've talked in previous Business Tip Tuesdays. I don't know if you remember the one that I did on Google Streak, but Google Streak is how I know if my funnel is drying up, if I don't have enough people that I'm in the inviting phase with, or that I'm forming, or that I have links out to. And every single day I look at that streak and I say to myself, Melanie, you need to up your game. The number of links of people that you sent out, the number of commitments you have in the process right now, it's dwindling. You need to fill that funnel. Or if I'm not getting engagement, I'm not sitting back and saying to myself, what's going on? What's wrong with Facebook? Why are people not liking my stuff? I'm out there saying, how do I find more people? Right? How do I move on to the next? How do I engage the right people? People are telling me no, fine, I'll move on to the next. And in my mind, I'm always 2 to 3 steps ahead so that the well never dries out. All right, one last tip for you guys, especially on Facebook, is this. You can search, put right into that search up there, you can put in there people who like Tony Robbins. And then what will happen is a list of people who like Tony Robbins will show up. All right? That's another way to decide whether or not you want to friend request some of those people. Maybe you do people who like Blogilates. It's a like page that I follow. People who like Blogilates. And then I click see all, and an entire list of people pop up. And maybe I want to do it all based on people that are not currently my friends. I can totally do that too. All right? People who like, and then put in something else. And so you can actually search, people who like, I can do people who like Mars Swap Shop. And then I can get all of the people who like that Mars Swap Shop. All right? So there you go, guys. There is lots of ways for you guys to expand your contact list, expand your area of influence, grow your social media, but it comes from you showing up. It comes from you doing the work and you getting out there and inviting other people. All right, so I am going to look at some of these questions that you guys have right now. Do you search hashtags and request people from that on Facebook as well? So Desiree, usually when I search a hashtag on Instagram, I don't go to Facebook yet. I usually just keep it on Instagram. I write their name down, they go into my Google Streak, especially if it's somebody that I'm sending a direct message to and I'm like, hey, I love your Instagram account. Your pictures are awesome. Do you take your own pictures, or where did you get I find a reason to message people and start that conversation. Hey, have you ever thought about Beachbody coaching before? I think you'd be amazing at it. Your pictures are incredible. You're already into health and fitness. I can tell by the amazing recipes that you share. Let me know and I can send you some more information. Boom, done. All right? Okay, can you build a successful team without a very successful upline? I mean, yes, absolutely you can. It doesn't matter who your upline is. If you have the mindset that you can't be successful unless you're on a specific team, we need to read some more personal development. definitely need to read some more personal development, because here is the thing. There is so much content out there on social media. There is so much out there on YouTube. You have these Business Tip Tuesdays. I mean, I think I've shared everything public on my YouTube. You just have to take the action and learn it. And if you even go into the Coach Online Office, there's an entire coach training in there that you can do step by step by step if you don't have an upline. Success is your responsibility. And I actually tell people, fire your upline. Fire your upline. You just cut the ties and say, success is my duty. I'll use you to bounce ideas off of, or I'll find a success partner if you're not going to work the business. But success is my duty. It's not my upline's duty to make me successful, or the team I'm a part of to make me successful. It's my duty as the coach. And so when you look at it that way, you'll have a very different outcome. Your mindset will shift and success will become the only option. All right. Okay, Ashley, we have a local sales site on Facebook. That's also a great way to look for people. Absolutely. We have the Mars Swap Shop. We have the Mars Community Forum. We've got a PTO. If you're a runner, if you're a marathon runner, are you joining groups for marathoners? If you are an author, are you part of authors books? If you run Bible studies, are you part of the Bible study Facebook group? I mean, my MOPS group, we had a Facebook group for MOPS and mommy groups and bloggers. And so there's so many places you can find other people. You just have to join the groups, but engage with people. I mean, genuinely, part of our job is to be social and make connections and build relationships. And you have to be able to understand that is a big part of what we do every day, is to just make new friends and connect with like-minded people. All right. Okay. You can definitely search for the same kinds of things on Facebook that you do on Instagram as well. All right, guys, I think that is all the questions that I can physically see. If I missed anything, let me know. But here's the bottom line. If you have more questions, make sure that you comment below or send me a private message. You can even email me at mjmitro@gmail.com. Make sure you go and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get all of the uploads after the fact. And on my Business Tip Tuesday playlist, you can subscribe to that and go back and listen to all of the previous Business Tip Tuesdays. You are welcome to share this information. It is public. I am happy to continue to help guide you. And my mission and my vision with my Melanie Mitro page is really to inspire other women, to empower you to know that you can go out there and grow the business of your dreams. You know, that you can go from having nothing to building your business at your kitchen table in between nap time, no social media experience, maybe no upline experience, but to know that is not a limiting belief. That, the fact that you are telling me that your market has run out is an excuse. You sitting there and saying, I don't have anybody, is an excuse and a validation for why you haven't taken control and gone out there and found ways. Go to YouTube and say, how do I expand my warm market? How do I grow into my cold market? How do I engage more followers on Instagram or Facebook? I mean, there's so many short videos that you can watch out there that can give you instant information. It's whether or not you say, I should do this, or I need to do this, or I'm doing it right now. And so it's all about taking action. These things that I taught you today will only be effective in your business, in your life, and make a change if you implement it today, right now. Not another minute goes by, but then you do it every single day. And you do this adding people and expanding your market long before the results ever happen. And you have the faith that your work is going to do the talking, that you're going to over deliver, and you're going to be the best coach or distributor that you can be. And you're going to prove yourself by when people show up, they can see the amazing work that you're putting out there on your social media. So with that being said, guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. Visit melaniemitro.com for future updates. Subscribe to my email list, and I look forward to seeing you guys. Next week, we will not have a Business Tip Tuesday. I am going to the Entree Leadership Seminar in Orlando, Florida, and I am so excited about that. So I'm sure that I will come back with even more great information for you guys. So what I'm going to do next week, just watch for me to go live a few times next week. I'll go live and share with you my nuggets from Entree Leadership, and we'll turn that into our next Business Tip Tuesdays. All right? Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and go out there and grow that market. Bye, guys.